Well, welcome everyone to our final UK Hangout for the MOOC of 2018. At least for our first iteration, we're going to plan on running another one in the second half of the year, probably end of September starting roundabout. We'll let you know. But welcome again, Mr. Ian Upton, all the way from Coventry University.
Hello, hello.
And, great to have you on board, Ian, and let's just sort of discuss the final section of CMOC portfolio. So that's what it's about today, and that's what this week of the CMOOC is about, is future plans. So it's a bit like a contextual statement. It kind of bookends your CMOC portfolio. The contextual statement is an important part, really signposts who you are and what motivates you and what drives you. And was that a question, Ian?
No, I accidentally knocked my microphone.
Oh, I thought the toffee might have been coming up again. So yeah, and at the other end of your portfolio, which is not assessed as well, there's ideas around future plans and just providing evidence that you, intend to go on with exploring innovation and teaching and learning with technology and reflecting on it, and that your portfolio is not the end of that, unless of course you plan to retire straight afterwards, but hopefully not. So just going to go into screen sharing. We've got a few suggestions. If you are looking for ideas for future plans, we've got a few things suggested that we'd like to offer up to people, and Ian's going to be involved in that. So I'm just going to hit screen sharing and show you what we've got suggested here. Present to everyone. Here we go. Right, so here we are on week 7 post for our cmooc.wordpress.com. It's also on our Google Plus discussion forum. So future plans and feedback. So there's two parts. So this one is the future plans part of your portfolio, but also we're really keen to get some feedback on the CMOOC from you. And as part of that, we have a link to an online SurveyMonkey survey. It's just very short. I think it's 10 questions. Actually, that's a Google form, that one. And we would like to be able to sort of report about that. So we do have an info sheet around the research component of this and a consent form for you to basically click a button to say that you consent for us to use your anonymous data as we evaluate the impact of our CMOOC. So yeah, really keen to get people to provide us feedback through that survey. And if you're also interested and you have got your CMOC portfolio almost ready, or you've done it, if you're willing to share it as an example, then that would be great as well. It's always good to have lots of examples for people to be able to check out. So that's kind of the feedback side. So I just thought I'd highlight that, start with that in case we forgot later, because that's really important for us to look at what we've done and has it worked for you and what hasn't worked and what can we change and what can we do better. So under the future plans, I mean, this is very, very much like the contextual statement. It's kind of a personal part of the whole thing of your portfolio is personal, but I guess it's, where do you think you're heading in the future? And we've got just some suggestions there that we're looking at getting going in the next few weeks. So we've created what we call a Scholarship of Technology Enhanced Learning Research Cluster, and we're really keen for people to join us in that. So if you have a particular expertise or interest in an area of technology enhanced learning and we don't have a group that covers that yet, then feel free to ask us to create one for you and to make you the admin of that. So you can see our research clusters here. So effectively, these are communities of practice of various lecturers in various disciplines interested in things like journalism. Mesh 360 is actually our paramedics and physio and nursing, looking at virtual reality and health education. We have a public environmental health group. CoLab MENA is more sort of around, I suppose, innovative technologies and app design, nursing, etc., etc.
Is this something that you'd invite people from anywhere? So, for example, with me, I'm quite interested in virtual reality, social spaces kind of thing. If I wanted to have a group on here and set it up, I could ask you, and I could get, sort of set something up and put a sort of focus for that, Tom.
Yeah. So if you wanted, if you wanted it specifically for Coventry University, or you could join any of these groups as well. But yes, we're keen for people to create groups all around the world. So we do have one from Auckland University, and we have one from Nelson. We don't have any international ones as such yet, but yeah, that would be good.
And this would this be the kind of thing that you could talk about in your future plans section? So,
yeah.
You know, okay.
Yeah. So this would be good material for it. Yeah. So for us, this is kind of like where we're heading. So why we've called them research clusters is really to make explicit that we're researching and trying to encourage participants to research their teaching practice.
Sure. Could I ask that scholarship about that, Tom? Because I know a lot of your practice is heavily involved in research. I know for myself, I'm less involved in research, and I know a lot of my colleagues who would be quite interested in the CMALT, perhaps would be far more practitioner level, so to speak. And I'm just wondering, does this end piece have to sort of result in research, or can it be sort of more personal practice and things?
No, it doesn't have to be focused on research. Practice is fine, but I guess what we try to meld together is research and practice. So when you're designing your course, or designing a new course or a new assessment, then that design process can be, informed as a research, practice-based research. And
so it could be more in terms of, okay, now you've done this, but actually, are you going to showcase it? Are you going to share it? Are you going to get comment on it?
So those sorts of things are great conference papers. Right. And if you want to take it to a deeper level, then you've done maybe one or two iterations, got some feedback, evaluation, etc. Then it's a great journal paper to share that sort of scholarship and critical reflection on what you're doing. Right. So that's what we're trying to establish and encourage people to do. That's the idea of those research clusters. Myself and Vic will also co-facilitate the Escalite Mobile Learning Special Interest Group. So if you're interested in mobile learning, we have a sort of international special interest group there, which is focused on the Escalite community, which is kind of like the alt of the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, I suppose if you just put an S in front of alt, it would be salt, wouldn't it? It's not quite
yeah.
So
Escalite stands for Australasian Society for Computers and Learning in Tertiary Education. So it's a bit of a mouthful. So Escalite's better. But if you are interested in mobile learning, then we sort of occasionally post there. We have a Google Plus forum, and you're welcome to join us in that as well. We have a bit of a database of core members. And we try to encourage people to, once again, bring link into their research and particularly their Orc ID. So, welcome to join us in that endeavour as well as you're part of your future plans, if you so like. And we will use that to sort of launch off a webinar series starting next week, actually, next Friday. And as part of that, I've just been talking to Ian and brainstorming, and we're going to invite the world famous Ian Upton to do a webinar Light Bites series, which we're really looking forward to. So that will be 4 or 5 sessions on really interesting, wacky, and innovative teaching technologies.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean,
maybe not so wacky.
Maybe not so wacky. Well, I don't know. There's one session I do with selfie sticks, which is quite good fun, and I think I do these very physically at the moment, but I think the opportunity to have a play in a more sort of, how can I say, distributed virtual environment could be quite good fun. So it could be a good fun experiment. So looking forward to that.
That could be quite fun. So the idea there is to continue these hangouts basically on a weekly basis, because we've got a little bit of momentum there, and just keep people interested and get people from the various communities that were involved in to showcase their work. So it won't just be me and Ian talking all the time. It'll be a whole variety of people.
That'd be pretty boring, if it's just us.
And the next thing we are planning is our original MOOC that we developed in 2015, and we've run 3 times so far. This will be the 4th iteration of it. We're planning to start in 2.5 weeks' time on the 21st of May. So you're welcome to join us for that. And the Mossamelt MOOC is not about toasted sandwiches. It's about mobile and social media and learning technologies. So it's a focus, but more of a niche then our CMOOC, which is really looking at any form of teaching technology. The Mossamount CMOOC is more focused on mobile and social media and teaching and learning. So welcome anyone to join us in that fourth iteration.
And when you say that, Tom, what would the focus be there? Because I can imagine social. Is it like using, just pulling this off the top of my head now, but sort of using Twitter to support your teaching? So it is that kind of engagement.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Using your smartphone to take and share video, audio, all those types of technologies. Using the GPS on your smartphone to interact with the real world in context. Google Maps, Street View, augmented reality, virtual reality. Those are the types of topics that we look at there. A little bit more in depth than we did in the CMOOC, where we just kind of touched on things. And the next thing, which I've just invited Ian to as well, is our CMOOC Bootcamp. Now, there's a lot of people that have been doing our CMOOCs that have started their CMOOC portfolios but haven't got around or haven't set aside enough time to finish them. So we're offering people a chance just to sit down with us here. Obviously, this will be our AUT lecturers here in Auckland, but we're welcoming anyone externally to participate with us virtually, and we'll run a series of hangouts, and Ian is probably going to be speaking into those as well. So just for you to maybe set aside a week to try and polish off your portfolio, if you're sort of really wanting to do that and haven't found the time, might be a good idea to set aside that week to do it. And do it with a whole group of people. So yeah, it'd be great to have
that's a Googling into a bit.
Be great to have Ian as part of that.
Well, you can spark, because I'm being nagged, you see, because I'm one of the people who's been doing it and sort of not quite got around to finishing it. So yeah, I've just booked into my, so I think the opportunity to sort of just actually have some deliberate time to sit down and concretize, sort of actually just put this stuff down, because all the ideas and I think the evidence are there. I guess a lot of us are in that situation. So as you said, boot camp, boot us up the bum and get us actually getting this stuff out there.
Yeah. So looking forward to seeing your the development of your profile, your portfolio. And finally, we will be running this CMOOC version 3 again, aiming for probably the end of September, because so we can pick up our UK participants again. So there you go. There's a series of future events that you're welcome to join us with if you want to build that into your future plans. So of course the final step of the CMOOC process is submitting your portfolio, and there are 3 dates throughout the year where you can submit your portfolio: the 31st of January, the 31st of May, and the 30th of September. So the next one is coming up 31st of May, which is rapidly approaching. And with our boot camp coming after May, we'll be aiming to get a number of people through for the 30th of September date. And then again, if you want to see some examples of portfolios, these are some from AUT. So that's why I've shared them, because they're examples from our lecturers, and they've all agreed to allow me to share them. So Matthew Gunbert, Danny Mulrennan, Laurent, and myself. And there is a whole range of them. If you're an alt member, you can find them on the CMOOC site. So there's a list of them. I think I've linked it there. So submitting somewhere. Anyway, if you go to the CMOOC site, you'll find there is a database of portfolios that people have made public.
Cool.
So there we go. That's the lightning overview of future plans. I'm going to stop screen sharing and get back to chatting with Ian.
What do you want to talk about?
Looking forward to the old boot camp there with you, Ian, and getting you over that line and getting you CMOOCed.
I wonder how many people actually are in this situation that we sit down, we think, yeah, I can do that, and it just sort of gets put off a little bit and put off a little bit. I mean, one of the things I found useful about these seminars, and I'm going to revisit the videos where we've had a chat, Tom, is I don't know, it's just sort of been humanizing and making meaningful the different sections that we have to put in. And I think, you know, where we've had these chats here, reviewing that could be quite useful, because I think, you know, we've probably, a lot of us have got this stuff, and it's just a case of externalizing it. And I think, you know, maybe the boot camp as well, as I said, just gives a bit of a hard deadline, shall we say, to sort of sit down. I don't know. I always respond better like that if I've got to do it. So
yeah, have a goal and a time frame. Yeah. Now looking forward to it. So we will aim to have our first webinar beyond MOOC next week. So stay tuned, because we haven't decided exactly what that will be yet. But we will let you know when Ian Upton's Worldwide Light Bite series will start. And it will be and it will be quite soon. So join us next week for our continuation of our webinar series. And thank you, Ian, for being so you know, committed to this and turning up each week. It's been great having you.
Yeah, it's been good fun. Okay.
See you all later. Bye.
Bye-bye.